friends, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be making our Super Bowl appetizer recipe for 2026. Let's get started. Okay friends, for today's recipe we are going to be making a lasagna dip with ground beef as well as pasta chips. I went back and forth with all kinds of recipes for this video, but I think I settled on this one because I thought it was kind of different than the usual, Mexican, nacho, 7 layer, all those types of usual. Not that there's anything wrong with it because I I love Mexican food and I love all the dips, but I thought why not do something a little bit different this year? So that's why I chose the lasagna dip. So I already have, I'm going to start making the lasagna noodles so we can make them into pasta chips. I will show you how we're going to do that. But what you'll need is really your basic ingredients for lasagna. Ground beef, if you use it, you don't have to, but I think it'll taste much better with the ground beef. You're going to need Italian seasonings, mozzarella cheese, ricotta cheese, um, garlic, onion, Italian seasonings, and Parmesan cheese as well if you'd like to add that to your lasagna. We're going to start with the base, which is going to be the ground beef. I'm going to go ahead and take you over to the stove. We'll get the ground beef going while the noodles are cooking as well. Let's get over there. Okay, so the noodles are done. They, of course, did break, but that's okay because we're going to be making these into chips. What I'm going to be doing is just cutting them into triangles if I can, if they're managed, if they're, shaped, if they're put together well enough that I can cut out a triangle. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put them in a bowl where we're going to season them up. So this one is going to be, a little bit, but that's okay. Like I said, they're chips, so they're not meant to be perfect. So we're just going to go ahead and cut these pieces up. Then we'll go ahead and we'll season them with some Italian seasoning, a little bit of olive oil, and then we'll pop these babies into the oven. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start heating the pan for the ground beef. I'm just going to go ahead and start heating up the oil. We're going to go ahead and add in, the recipe I'm using is calling for a ½ pound of ground beef. I'm going to actually go ahead and make the entire ground beef, and I will use a portion of it for another recipe. Okay, we're going to go ahead and break up that ground beef, but we're also going to add in a 1/4 cup of diced onion. And we're just going to cook this until the ground beef is well cooked and is brown. Okay, so this is pretty much just a few little pieces of pink left. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in some chopped garlic, as well as a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And let this cook until the garlic, you can smell the garlic. The garlic is my favorite part. There's still a few little pieces of pink. And then if we need to drain some of this, we will do that after we let the garlic cook through. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start layering everything together for our dip. I went back and forth on what kind of dish or what I wanted to use to make the dip in. I decided ultimately on this smaller little casserole dish, I think it'll be fine. I was going to do it in a skillet, but I think it's going to be better served here. So we're going to go ahead and start layering it. And the first layer is going to be the ricotta cheese. So I'm just going to take some out and then try to go ahead and spread it if it'll let me. And we're just going to go ahead and put that all on the bottom of the casserole dish. And I think I want it to be a little thicker, so we'll go ahead and put a little bit more on. Now, normally when I make a lasagna, I usually make a mozzarella, ricotta, and an egg. And I whip that all together with Italian seasonings before I use it in my lasagna. But this is a little bit different since it's a dip. I'm hoping that all these flavors just kind of blend together and it has the same taste as a lasagna, just in a dip form. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and add a layer of the beef and onion and garlic mixture. Okay. And we were going to go ahead and now put on a layer of the tomato sauce and the mozzarella cheese. So, you know what? I'm going to spoon this over. Let me get a spoon. And this is just marinara sauce. You can use your own if you make it. How lovely. Or you can use a jar like I'm using today. Don't tell anyone in my family. You know, don't let the real Italians know I'm using a jarred sauce. Kind of afraid to just pour it on. Probably would be easier. There you go, Joann. Okay. Because I'm making a small dip here, I just kind of decided to wing it on how much to use. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and repeat this. So we're going to go ahead with the ricotta again. And it did spread better with the spoon, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so the layers are done. What I'm going to do is just going to go ahead and put over the mozzarella cheese a little bit of Italian seasoning. Now, if you had fresh basil, you can put that on top as well, or Parmesan cheese if you like it. I don't like Parmesan cheese on my lasagna, so I don't want it on the dip. I know. I like Parmesan cheese, but not on my lasagna. So that's why I'm just using the Italian seasoning. And then we're going to go ahead, place this in the oven. The oven was preheating at 375. We're going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes until it is like bubbly and a little brown. And then we will go ahead and start Well, let's get this in the oven, and then we're going to start the pasta chips. Looks good. Okay, so here are the pasta chips, the lasagna noodles. They're all cut up. Some of them are in triangles, some of them are not. It's okay. It's chips. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to add maybe about a tablespoon of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to go ahead and add in some Italian seasoning. And you know what? I'm going to do it as I go. So, and also a little bit of garlic powder. And we are just going to mix them all together. And I'm going to add more seasonings. Open this up. This. Yeah, that's better. More of the garlic. Now, of course, you can make these like a Parmesan chips, and you can add some Parmesan, grated Parmesan on them as well. And then we're going to go ahead and put these in the oven so they can crisp up. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I think they're well mixed. Okay. All right, looks good. Let me get a couple of cookie sheets, and we'll get these in the oven as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and place the pasta chips on the cookie sheet. And these little pieces, I don't even got to bother. We're going to pop these in the oven at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Okay, it is out of the oven. It smells delicious, but I wanted to show you, I just went ahead and I put the chips in a little bowl that I had. I don't know if if I personally will enjoy the chips. I think I prefer to have it with little sliced pieces of like a baguette, or like even like a garlic bread or a Texas toast, maybe cut into half or quarters for dipping. I think that might be a better choice. Of course, I haven't tasted it yet, so I will do that. Let me show you the casserole as well, the dip. I keep saying casserole. Looks delicious. I think this bowl worked out perfectly. So you could see the different layers, and I think you can either go ahead and give that a good mix if you wanted to, or just leave it and then kind of have your guest or yourself go ahead and try to scoop out as much as they can. Let me get a good sized chip, and then I'm going to scoop it out, and let me bring this down so you can see. Let's see what it looks like. But I do think I prefer having it with like a garlic bread or a Texas toast. I'm just going to take one chip, and I'm going to go ahead and scoop it. Oh, definitely very cheesy. Okay. I got the cheese stuck. Okay. Well, let's taste this. Mmm. Very good. Very good. I really like it. It does taste pretty much like, excuse me, I got food all over my face. It does pretty much taste like lasagna. And I like the idea of dipping the pasta chips. The pasta chips are okay for me. I think maybe it would have tasted better with little Parmesan rather just than the garlic and the Italian seasoning. So you might want to try that. But I also really think, for me personally, that I would prefer having it with like a little sliced baguette, garlic bread, Texas toast, something like that. But I do think this is a great appetizer for game day, because you can go ahead and kind of make it ahead of time. You're just gonna, assemble it, and then you can put it in the refrigerator, and then the next day, before your guests there, pop it in the oven, and it'll be nice and warm for them. And you can store this as well. Wrap it back up and have it, if you have any leftovers the next day or so. So I think definitely for me, I think this is a great alternative to the other dips that are always, Mexican or like 7 layer or nachos, things like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with that because I love that too, but just something different I want to try this year. So that is it, my friends. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video and this year's Super Bowl appetizer recipe. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the game.